Alright, good evening, everybody. How are you doing? Oh. Okay. Is everyone doing alright this evening? Is everyone enjoying Fate Holoroxia? I haven't had a chance to check it out yet. I wanted to finish this before I really delve into it. So how's everyone's roles on FGO lately? I put in a couple singles and wound up getting one Jita, and I think I have my servant design of Kuna Pipi on DeviantArt to thank for that. So we'll just pick up where we left off last time, if I remember correctly. Assassin killed Lancer. Shinji got physical with Sakura. So let's see where this goes. When I awake to the bright sunshine, my body feels completely recovered. My temperature is normal, and my limbs don't feel heavy anymore. It's still before 6, huh? I wonder if Sakura's awake. If she is, then she should be preparing breakfast. If I don't change and go to the kitchen soon, she'll have to do it all by herself. I'm going on ahead, Saber. Come to the living room in a bit. I'm not brave enough to slide open the partition, so I just tell her and retreat. It could be bad if I open the door with unlucky timing and see Saber sleeping.
それでね、おじいちゃん倒れちゃってさ。わしが寝込んどるんだから少しは落ち着こうと思わんのかドラ娘なんていう失礼しちゃうわよね。それじゃあ私がはぐれ雲みたいに聞こえるじゃない。
Fujine pouts, going on about something unfamiliar as she eats. Evidently, she didn't come over last night because her grandfather collapsed.
先輩、はぐれ雲って何ですか?
It's literally Fujine. Someone who you just can't get a handle on because they're so floaty and carefree. I answer instantly.
違う。
Ideally without the stutter.
日がない一日何をするでもなく町の人たちを冷やかして面白おかしく暮らす人のことを言うのよ。
Sakura and Saber nod in understanding. It goes without saying which part of that they agree with.
けど先生、それじゃあお父さんの体、芳しくないんですか?
まさか。うちの家系は風邪とかひかないって有名なんだから。おじいちゃんはね、年がいもなく若い子と相撲して腰やっちゃったの。
Sumo wrestling Yakuza guy? Who is this guy? Heihachi Mishima?
相撲とは何ですか、タイガ？
ちょっと言葉で説明するのは難しいな。とにかく押す、引かば押す、押せば押すっていう格闘技よ。武器なしなんだけど、げんこつはダメ、蹴るのもダメ。
But if Street Fighter is anything to go by, flying headbutts and sitting on your opponent from 20 feet in the air is perfectly valid.
基本的に相手の体とがっしり組み合ってドリャーって地面に叩き伏せれば勝ちなんだ。
それは純粋な力比べということでしょうか？
そうね。あと服もだし、自分も相手もほとんど裸でぶつかり合うんだよ。
Okay, maybe not completely naked?
裸でですか？
回しをつけてるから急所は隠してるけど、回しっていうのはふんどしのことね。わからなかったらシローに聞いてみて。私より詳しいから。
Fujine slurps her miso soup while saying something outrageous about me.
なるほど。で、シロ、ふんどしとは何ですか？
It would be easy to explain, but I hesitate. This is Saber I'm talking to, and it's the middle of breakfast. Why do we have to talk about underwear? No idea. Sumo's not my wheelhouse. Ask someone else.
嘘だー。シロ回し持ってるくせに。
No, we don't. Your gramps just made me do a sumo that one time, so I borrowed one. And how many years ago are we talking here?
そっかそうだ。シロ子供の頃はちっちゃかったから相撲は負け続きだったんだもんね。おじい様が違う競技にしなさいって言って勝つまでやめたがらないシロに弓持たせたんだっけ。
So that's why Shirou got into archery. Fujine laughs in delight. I wonder why. She's in an awfully good mood today and 20% more lively than usual. Hey, Fujine, clock's ticking. Don't you need to get out of here before 7 to be on time?
あ、今日は大丈夫。昨日から朝の部活は禁止されたから。ま、それでも今日は職員会議があるから早めに出ないとまずいんだけど。
先生、弓道部も朝練中止なんですか？
そうだよ。で、そっか。さくらちゃんには連絡行ってなかったか。昨日ちょっとした事故があってね。陸上部の子なんだけど、部活中に怪我しちゃって。保健の笠間先生に言わせれば寝不足だとかで朝練はしばらく中止になったのよ。
What kind of injury does one person have to suffer for all club activities to be canceled? Huh. But do they really need to stop everything just for one student? And if they didn't get enough sleep, isn't that their own? It's their own responsibility to go to bed on time. Maybe. Fujine, exactly how many students got hurt?
10人以上20人未満かな。
そんなになんですか？先生、弓道部のみんなは。
それがね、うちには出てないけど昨日の部活でも疲れた顔の子が何人かいたのよ。ほら最近いろいろと物騒じゃない？そのあたりの精神的な疲れも無視できないからできるだけ生徒には負担をかけない方針でいくみたい。部活が負担になるってわけじゃないけど肉体的に疲労するのは否定できないしね。
Fujine shrugs in exasperation and holds out her bowl.
さくらちゃんおかわり。ご飯半分でお願いね。
はい、どうぞ。今朝は小食ですね、先生。
Half a bowl? Yeah, that's pretty conservative for Fujine.
そうなのよ。学校行っても仕事が溜まってるのかと思うと胃が痛くて痛くて食欲がないんだよ。
She half sobs pitifully. Apparently, our resident tiger is saying that she can't go all out on 2.5 bowls of rice.
そういうさくらちゃんは元気だよね。ご飯大盛りで2杯目だもん。
育ち盛りですから最近はすぐお腹減っちゃうし多少無理でも食べておかないと大変です。
Oh boy. Sakura proudly puffs up her chest. I'd say she's already had her growth spurt and she's good as she is. Maybe she's just being influenced by the other gluttons in the house.
なるほど。さくらには弓使いとしては腕力が足りません。栄養を取るのはいいことです。
Saber nods through a mouthful of food. I can't tell if they're on the same page or not. It's past 7. Fujine already left for school and we're cleaning up. Sakura doesn't need to rush today, so we take our time doing the dishes together. Morning cleanup goes by in a flash since we're both helping each other out. I find myself checking on Sakura, but she looks like she's feeling better. It seems like her fever is gone and she's full of energy.
先輩、少しお話があるんですけど、お時間よろしいでしょうか？
She suddenly blurts out a question. Like it's now or never. You certainly might. We still have plenty of time.
はい。そのですね。お弁当をですね。作ってみたんですけど。
Sakura hands me a lunchbox. It's different from the one I sometimes use. She must have prepared it herself. Unlike my boring lunchbox, it has a cute shape and it's even wrapped in a pleasantly colored cloth. I'm grateful, and I can count on it tasting good if Sakura made it. Thanks. Wait, did you wake up early today just to make this? By the time I came to the living room this morning, Sakura was already finished making breakfast. I was impressed at how early she must have gotten up, but it seems that she's even more of an early riser than I thought. Unlike a certain tsundere we all know.
やることもないからお弁当作ろうかなって。それでご相談があるんですけど。
What's up? Sounds important.
いえ、そんなことないです。ないんですけど。そうだ。先輩ってあんまりお弁当作りませんよね。お料理好きなのにどうしてなのかなって。
Because everybody else steals my lunch! Sakura, I don't particularly enjoy cooking, you know. Plus, cooking isn't supposed to be a hobby that guys have. I just happen to be able to do it, and I'd like to leave it at that. Anyway, she wants to know why I don't make lunch on my own, right? I know that it would save money to bring my own lunch, but it makes all the guys in class flock to my desk. Before I know it, half my food is gone. I was just joking about his lunch getting stolen. Sakura nods slowly. It's actually the girls in class who tend to take most of my food, but I decided not to mention it because it makes me sound pathetic. That where it sounds like you're bragging. Yeah, so that's why I only make lunch on the days I can eat in the student council office. When I'm there, I can eat in private with Issei. That was a lot of eye animation.
それなら弓道場で昼食をとるのはどうでしょう。
Why? So Shinji could just steal the entire box?
お昼なら道場も空いてますし、お茶も入れられますし、誰もいないから静かだし。
Oh, I'd never considered that. The archery range is unlocked during daytime, and even club members are unlikely to stop by. Only Mitsuzuri is likely to be around, if at all, and she isn't rude enough to lay hands on another person's lunch. Okay, yeah, I think that could work.
そうです。そういうのももちろんありです、先輩。
I'm an outsider, though. I'd better get Mitsuzuri's permission first.
そんなの大丈夫です。弓道場は学校の建物なんですから、部活動以外は生徒の自由で OK なのではないでしょうか。
Sakura's being unusually forceful. Well, alright. As long as I'm not imposing on anyone. I accept the proposal. And for some reason, Sakura looks utterly enthusiastic, even pumping her fist. Maybe Fujine's good mood rubbed off on her. We walk up the hill. There are more students commuting than usual, possibly because morning practices are canceled.
時間はまだまだ大丈夫ですね。こんなゆっくりした朝は久しぶりです。
Sakura is beside me, walking happily. She's been in a good mood all morning, though I'm not sure why. That's normal for me, though so I don't get to go to school with you that often.
弓道部の朝練は休みなしですから。
True, but morning practice is supposed to be optional, right? Most people only go once every 2 days or so. You should take it easy too.
それじゃ先輩、私が休んだら一緒に学校に行ってくれますか？
Of course I would. We're going to the same school, so we'd better go whether you wanted... We're going to the same school, so we'd better go... So we'd be together whether you wanted to or not.
それじゃあ。やっぱり無理でした。私下手だから一日でも休むと腕が下がっちゃいます。
Sakura sticks out her tongue in self-reprimand. I don't know about that. I don't like to compare people to each other, but your skills are outstanding for a first year. You can afford to take a day or two off.
いいえ、私はまだ未熟です。今だって気を緩めると邪念が入るし、的が見えないなんてしょっちゅうだし。根が怠け者だから毎日びっしりやってないとずるずるダメになっちゃうたちなんです。
Well, if she says so. I part ways with Sakura. The second-year classrooms are on the 3rd floor, while Sakura and the other first years are on the 4th floor.
それじゃあ先輩、また後で。
Yeah, don't fall asleep in class. Food coma is a thing, you know.
それなら心配無用です。もうとっくにお腹8分目になってますから。
Just a fifth? Sakura goes up the stairs. I wave goodbye and head to my own classroom. It's lunch break. Shinji is absent, and so is Issei. I think Issei's been recovering in the hospital ever since the Ryudo Temple incident. In fact, there are several other students out sick too. But there shouldn't be any further absences. Castor is gone. There isn't a servant draining life force from the people of Fuyuki anymore. That should put an end to the mysterious comas that had the city in an uproar. Right. Everyone who Castor hurt will get better soon. Time to get my head on straight. There are 4 masters left. Tosaka and Ilya aside, I don't know what the other 2 masters are like, so it's too early to relax. Our yelps of surprise harmonize. Just as I step into the hallway, I suddenly run into Tosaka.
ちょっとあって何よあって人の顔を見るなり失礼なんじゃない？それとも何か私に後ろめたいことでもあるのかしらね、エミヤ君は。
Right back at you. You look just as surprised, you know. What was the phone call for yesterday? After you complained about me going to the temple, you demanded that I come and meet you at school. You're pretty fickle, Tosaka.
昨日のは特例よ。竜道寺のマスターが消えた後、あなたが学校を休んでれば何かあったって思うでしょ？
That was a lot of dialogue for that one, for a 5-word translation.
その竜道寺の件を教えたのは私なんだから、エミヤ君に何かあったら困るじゃない。
I'm surprised. Does Tosaka feel responsible for what happened? Oh, well, thanks for worrying about me, Tosaka.
そんなことないわよ。私はただ情報提供者として事の顛末が知りたいだけなんだから。
Huh? I told you during yesterday's phone call. Castor and her master are defeated. There's nothing at Ryudo Temple anymore. Wait. Why does she look so serious all of a sudden? What? Did I say something weird?
エミヤ君を信じてないわけじゃないけど、もう一度だけ確認するわ。あなた、本当にキャスターを倒したの？
Even I can tell we won that fight. Saber completely got rid of Castor, and Castor's master was already dead by the time we arrived.
分かったわ。ならそのことで話があるの。ちょっと屋上まで付き合って。
What? Castor isn't gone?
ええ、エミヤ君がキャスターを倒したのが2日前でしょ。なのに昨日も例の昏睡事件は起きた。それも魔力を奪われた人たちは今までより重い衰弱状態にあったわ。
That can't be right. I'm sure we...
分かってる。あなたが嘘を言うわけないし勘違いしているとも思えない。けど実際に私とアーチャーはキャスターらしき影を見たのよ。昨日の夜被害のあった現場に駆けつけた時にね。
I see. Then is Castor really still alive and gathering energy from the town?
断言できないけどそういうことね。けど竜道寺の雰囲気が変わったってことだけはわかる。あなたたちはキャスターを倒した。けどキャスターは未だ存在する。今確かなのはそれだけよ。
That must be why Tosaka has been acting odd since yesterday. She probably started having doubts about this war. A servant is supposed to disappear when its master is beaten. When a servant is completely defeated, it can't escape death in this world. Both penalties apply to Castor, and yet she somehow still exists. It's a clear fundamental violation of the rules underpinning the Holy Grail War. Okay, so what do you think?
え、私？
Yeah, it's crazy, right? I doubt you're going to forfeit this war. I'm guessing you care more about cleaning up Castor's mess than the competition itself, even if it means putting off dueling the other masters.
エミヤ君の思ってる通りよ。今回の聖杯戦争はどうもきな臭いわ。父さんに聞いていたものとは違う気がするのよね。なんていうか私たちの知らないところで違うことが行われてる気がするの。
Something else, huh? For me, I'm an outsider to this whole business, so I haven't even had the luxury of considering that. But if a bona fide master like Tosaka thinks so, then something must be wrong. Tosaka, then...
ええ、自分で納得がいくまで聖杯戦争のルールには従わない。誰かに利用されるのは仕方ないけど、利用された自分が誰にどんな危害を加えるのかわからないのは気に食わない。そういうの嫌でしょ。だからはっきりさせるまで他のマスターといがみ合うのはやめるつもり。
She states it resolutely. Tosaka's eyes are unwavering. At the same time, they seem to ask me for my decision. Alright, then can I take that as a truce offer?
エミヤ君が受けてくれるならね。この件が片付くまであなたが私と敵対しないのなら私も危害は加えないわ。
She fixes me with a questioning gaze. My answer, of course, was set from the beginning. That's my line. I won't fight you as long as you don't come after me. And if we do fight, it'll be fair and square. Until then, I've always wanted to have a cooperative relationship with Tosaka.
決まりね。分かってたけどいい返事がもらえて嬉しいわ。
Huh? Tosaka extends her right hand. I realize she's waiting for me to shake it. Oh, yeah, it's a deal. I try to ignore my suddenly reddening cheeks and stick out my right hand.
よし、契約成立ね。少しの間だろうけどよろしく頼むわ、エミヤ君。
Tosaka firmly shakes my hand. Her hand is far more delicate than mine. Her touch is soft and slightly cool. What the heck am I thinking at a time like this? Get a grip, Shirou!
どうしたのエミヤ君。急に汗かいたりして。なんか心拍数も上がってるけど。
It's nothing. Just a cold. I'll get better once I eat. So let's have lunch. I tear my hand away from hers. Unfortunately, That only serves to twist Tosaka's face into a devilish smile.
ははこの前相談された時にもしかしてって思ったけど、やっぱりそうなんだ。慣れてるような印象だけど本当はそうでもなかったわけね。意外っていうかイメージ通りっていうか。ふーんふーんふーん。
Smirking, Tosaka appraises me from head to toe. What? If you've got something to say, say it. You shouldn't dangle it over me like that.
別にエミヤくんのことが少し分かっただけだから気にしないで。は口にするつもりないから怯えなくていいわよ。
I'm not scared. If you want to tell everyone, then go ahead.
あら言っていいの？
She snickers. Ugh. How could such an evil smile exist? Don't.
何？小さくて聞こえないんだけど。
Sorry. Don't tell anyone. I think I'll go into shock if you do. Especially coming from you, it'll be 2 or 3 times worse.
そう？なら黙ってあげてもいいけど。
Tosaka smiles triumphantly. I take a second to recover my composure.
エミヤくん、好きな子のリコーダーが気になるタイプでしょ。
You said you weren't going to say anything, you demon!
だからね、人間ってのは本当のことを言われると怒ると思うのよ。
Tosaka pokes at my lunch thoughtfully. She came here empty-handed today, meaning that she doesn't have anything to eat. It was inevitable that she'd come after my lunch instead. Just eat. Why do you have chopsticks with you when you didn't even bring lunch? Do you always carry those around?
これは教室を出るときに持ってきただけよ。エミヤくん、この前もお昼ご飯持ってたから今日も分けてもらえばいいかなって。で、もしお弁当だった時を考えて事前に箸を用意したんだけど。
I think you have your priorities out of order. If you thought that far ahead, then bring your own dang lunch!
細かいことは気にしない気にしない。エミヤくんだって2人分のお弁当を持ってきてたんだから結果オーライじゃない。
This isn't really meant for 2 people to share. Sakura just happened to put too much food in the box. Whatever. You're right that I can't finish it on my own. Oh, Tosaka, don't just eat the veggies. You should take some meat. I'll get bloated if I eat all the meat.
その唐揚げ味付け甘いから苦手なのよ。だいたい女の子にお肉なんか勧めないでよね。ちゃんと自分で分量測ってるんだから食べないってことはストップサインなの。
Liar. I bet you're the type that Liar. I bet you're the type that doesn't hold back when you're in front of the grill. I know I'm right. While I'm still on the appetizers, you'd be scarfing down the galbi like there's no tomorrow. I could tell you wouldn't give a hoot about what... I could tell you wouldn't care about my wallet. In fact, you'd try to bankrupt me. And once you're done, you'd say I held back for your sake this time. I huff and shoot back at a retort, feeling like a sore loser.
言うじゃないエミヤくん。あながち否定できないところが恐ろしいわ。
No. I'm pretty sure the scary one here is you.
けどお菓子のお弁当よね。量はすっごく多いのに盛り付けとかラッピングとか女の子っぽいじゃない？エミヤくん、もしかして料理好き？
What a coincidence. Someone asked me the same thing this morning. I don't dislike it, but Sakura's the one who made my lunch today. Oh, Sakura is... Tosaka? What's wrong? Did you bite on a lump of sugar or something?
あっちゃー、やっちゃったか。
Tosaka sighs and puts away her chopsticks.
ごちそうさま。あとはエミヤくん一人で食べて。
Tosaka backs away uncomfortably. Well, as long as she's full. I was getting pretty nervous eating side by side with her, so it'll be nice to enjoy it in peace. I'm on the way back to class. Fifth period starts in a few minutes. The hall leading back to my classroom is crammed with students. On the other hand, the stairs are quiet. There aren't many students who visit other years' floors during lunch, so people use the stairs only occasionally. On the way back down, I run into Sakura. As soon as she sees me, she looks away awkwardly. I wonder why. It's the opposite of how energetic she looked this morning. Sakura... I speak to her. But before I can say anything else...
ごめんさくら。間が悪かったわ。
Tosaka interjects first.
いえ、間が悪いなんてことはないです。先輩と遠坂先輩が一緒にいても、私は別に。
だから違うんだって。ちょっとね、用があって私からエミヤくんを呼びつけたの。ついでに言うと、エミヤくんもあなたとの約束をすっぽかしたわけじゃないわ。こいつ、単に分かってなかっただけだから。
What's that supposed to be? I never promised her anything.
バカ。お弁当を作ったってことは、あんたと一緒に食べたいってことじゃない。さくらが怒るのも当たり前よ。
Huh? Wait a second. When did I ever say I would...
先輩、それなら弓道場で昼食、お昼なら道場も空いてますし、お茶も入れられますし、誰もいないから静かだし。
And then, I noticed that Sakura hasn't unwrapped her lunch yet. Oh, right. What the heck am I saying? Of course Tosaka would call me stupid. Sorry, Sakura, I'm such an idiot!
いえ、いいんです先輩。だってほら、ちゃんと約束したわけじゃないし、私もそうなったらいいなって思っただけで。
It's not okay. Let's go right now. There's still time. We'll get it done in the dojo right away. I grab Sakura's hand and start to run. However...
間に合うわけないでしょ。あと3分で何ができるっていうのよ。
Tosaka's calm logic stops me cold. My guilt over standing Sakura drove me to action, but Tosaka's 100% right.
いいんです先輩。遠坂先輩の言う通り、教室に戻らないとダメですよ。
But Sakura...
いいえ、気にしないでください。私、今ので十分嬉しかったです。ありがとうございました。
I don't know what to say to that.
それじゃあ、失礼しますね。先輩たちも早く戻らないと遅刻しちゃいますよ。
Sakura goes up the stairs with her lunch uneaten.
じゃあ私も行くけど。学校が終わったらすぐに商店街にある中華飯店に行っておいて。そこで待ってるから。
And so, Tosaka goes back to her classroom, leaving with me with those cryptic instructions. Fifth period ends, and the classroom quickly empties. It's still before 2 p.m. Phew, I don't feel like going, but Tosaka told me to. I don't have anything left to do on campus, so I go for broke and head to the shopping district. There's only one Chinese restaurant in this shopping center. Hongzhou Yanseiguan Taishan. Taishan has an ominous reputation. Its glass windows are covered by shutters during the daytime, concealing the coming and going of customers. First-timers are frequently seen fleeing the premises. The restaurant is run by the enigmatic and petite Miss Ba, beloved by the neighborhood association. She wields her wok to cook chili peppers into every possible dish. In other words, the food is hot. Really hot. It's so spicy you'd think your tongue was being stabbed by 1,000 toothpicks and covered in salt. The reason I tend not to like Chinese food is entirely thanks to this restaurant's infernal seasoning. Also, I can't get over the owner's over-the-top accent. Now, I'm about to enter this pit. If the owner sees me, a menu will appear in my hands before I can blink. And if it comes to that, I'm sunk. I'd better order something sweet and sour. I'd better order some sweet and sour appetizers right away and avoid mortal danger. I haven't been able to bring myself to return ever since I experienced their char siu and twice-cooked pork. Don't even get me started on the mapo tofu. That's truly a nightmare. My tongue would melt. It's the kind of suffering that's like having your entire cut off by King Enma. Maybe the restaurant's name alludes to the spiritual trial it takes to eat here. Okay, so this is where the mapo tofu comes from. Whew. I checked the time and see that it's just about 2:30. She told me to come straight here after school, so I cannot waste any more time. Alright, here goes nothing. It feels weird to work up my courage just to walk into a restaurant, but that's the kind of place this is. I don't know what the plan is, but I bet even Tosaka is regretting her choice of meeting spot right now. Inside, I come face to face with...
ん?来たか、エミヤ。時間があったのでな。先に食事を進めていた。
A priest eating mapo tofu. I'm speechless. What's Kotomini doing here? Why is he eating that mapo tofu that looks like a boiling cauldron? And with incredible vigor, no less. He shovels the molten lava into his mouth with so much dry sweat running down his face, not bothering to drink water, as if he knows that pausing will mean he'll never take another bite. And he looks uncomfortable. Man, who eats that fast? Is he actually enjoying it? The red oil and peppers look like they've been stewing in hell for 100 years. Is that delicious to him? If the answer is yes, then that's messed up. I mean, Kotomine as well as this restaurant. There's definitely an insane amount of spice in there. That's the only way I can describe it. That's the only way I can describe it.
どうした?立っていては話にならんだろう。座ったらどうだ?
How are you going to talk if your tongue is melted? The priest talks while eating. I'm not sure what even to be cautious of anymore. Sit down across from Kotomine. I quietly watch the priest's movements. Incredible. There are only 2 spoonfuls of mapo left. Is he actually going to finish the entire plate? The second I clear my throat, Kotomine's hand suddenly stops. Our eyes meet. Kotomine fixes me with his typically oppressive gaze and asks,
Kuka.
Do I what? Instantly I decline with every fiber of my being. Kotomine frowns slightly and finishes the last of his mapo tofu. Wait, is he disappointed that I said no? It's clear now that Father Kotomine is here to see me. He must have asked Tosaka to get me to come. So, what do you want? Pretty unusual for you to come to see me.
何?お前がすでに2体のサーバントを倒したと聞いてな。大したものだとねぎらいに来たのだ。
Oh, really? Well, keep the admiration to yourself. I'm not fighting for your sake, nor am I fishing for compliments.
つまらぬ世辞は余計だったか。では望み通り本題に入るとしよう。リンからキャスターが生きているという話は聞いたな。
Yeah. Caster's still in this world, taking magical energy from people around town.
そうだ。その件と関係があるかはわからんが、お前がキャスターを倒した夜、竜道寺にはもう一体サーバントがいてな。風貌、戦闘スタイルから言ってアサシンだと思われるが、断言はできない。
Assassin. So you're saying it was at the temple at the same time as Caster? But Saber...
感知できなかったのだろう。アサシンはそう強力な英霊ではないが、特性として気配の遮断がある。隠密はアサシンの得意分野だからな。いかなセーバーとてアサシンが完全に引きこもってしまえば見つけようがないだろう。
So it was there the night we beat Caster too. Was it lurking nearby, waiting for a chance to take me out as soon as I let down my guard after killing Caster? I get that, but why tell me? Aren't you supposed to not take sides as an overseer?
何？
Or as the overseer?
これは情報交換に過ぎん。私の知ることはそれだけだ。その代価としてここ数日お前が体験した出来事を教える。前回とは違うものが動いている気がしてならんのだ。教えたくないのならそれでも構わん。今のは忠告として聞いたと思えばいい。
Yeah, right. I'll pay the price for your intel. I didn't ask, but it was something I needed to know.
相変わらず義理がたいことだな、エミヤシロ。
The priest's lips twitch into a delighted smile. He's making a face like he knew exactly how I'd react. But I'm not going to play his little game. I'll talk, but I have a question first. How do you know what happened, Kotomine? You couldn't have known an assassin was at Ryudo Temple without a servant of your own. In fact, he shouldn't have known even if he had a servant. Neither Saber nor Torasuka's archer were aware of what he just told me.
なあに、単純な話だ。私のランサーが竜道寺でアサシンに敗れた。奴が消滅する寸前の映像をマスターである私が回収したに過ぎん。
Just like that. The priest utters something outrageous as if it's just common sense. Huh?
私もマスターだと言った。お前も口にしたではないか。サーバントでもいない限りわからないと。いや、実にその通りだったな。
Huh? What?
だがそれも昨日までの話だ。ランサーは消滅し、私は今回の聖杯戦争におけるマスターではなくなった。さて、話はそれだけか。ではお前の番だ。ここ数日、何と出会い何を見た？
In only a short moment, the mood becomes somber. He's not letting me ask any more questions. All Father Kotomine wants is a clear answer from me. I still have a mountain of stuff I want to say, but I'll answer first. In as much detail as possible, I describe everything that's happened since I made a pact with Saber 4 days ago and met the priest. It takes about 30 minutes to finish my story. I haven't done a whole lot as a master, and shouldn't be of much interest to Kotomine. He only showed any sign of interest when I mentioned Zoken Mato.
マト造剣。とうに老衰したかと思っていたが、未だに現役とはな。人の血をすする妖怪というのは本当だったか。
The old man drinks blood?
そうだ。マトウの魔術は吸収でな。6代前の魔術師であったマトウ造剣は、 際立った無質界だったと聞く。
He can't be literally using insects as familiars, right? So if there's other magecraft that controls insects... Wait, when you say he uses insects, you mean as catalysts? Like that ritual where you trap hundreds of poisonous bugs in a vase and then cast a curse using the last survivor? Wait, like that ritual where you trap hundreds of poisonous bugs in a vase and then cast a curse using the last survivor?
いや、孤独の類ではない。もとより呪詛はマキリの専門外だ。彼らが行う魔術は必ず自らの肉体に成果が返るもの。呪いなど行っては相手と共倒れになるだろう。
Then he literally uses bugs as familiars?
なあ、魔頭造剣は他人の血を吸うだけの妖怪だ。人の血を吸うことで若さを保ち、肉体を変貌させ、数百年を生き抜いたというが、さて、リンの父親の話ではすでに死にたい。白日のもとには出られないということだったが。
He can't go outside during the light of day? Now that you mention it, I've only met him at night so far. He drinks blood to extend his life. And he can't go outside during the day. That makes him sound completely like something out of another franchise from the Type Moon universe. Kotsumini, are you saying Zokenmato is a vampire?
あれは吸血鬼というよりは吸血虫だよ。性質も性格も陰湿なナメクジだ。
Kotamina's tone is clipped. A malicious slug. You could kill it with fire, but, salt might be a little more entertaining. You must really despise the old man. You said he's lived for centuries. So was he a master too?
いや、魔頭造剣がマスターだったことはない。奴は魔頭家の相談役のようなものだが、何分数百年と生きた妖怪だ。何か私たちが知らない方法でマスターになるという策を凝らしたのかもしれん。
So if he's made a contract with Caster who doesn't have a master anymore.
さあな。だが気を許していい相手ではない。奴が表舞台に出てきた以上、確かな賞賛があってのことだろう。今回の魔頭のマスターは、マキリにおける最悪の魔術王の呪語を受けているということだ。
Zoken said that Shinji hasn't given up. Shinji has Zoken's backing. He may have lost his command spells, but the old man might give him a new servant.
参考になった。マキリのご老人が動いているのならば、この異常事態もうなずける。監督役として被害の拡大に備えるとしよう。
Kotamini muses to himself, looking more relaxed now. Overseer, huh? That's rich, coming from the guy who was a secret master until yesterday.
そう言うな。もとより私に望みなどない。ランサーを得たのも、より良い願望者に聖杯を与えたかっただけだ。それもここまでだがな。あとはマスター同士で決めることだ。ま、私的な意見を言わせてもらえば、お前かリン、そのどちらかに聖杯が与えられればいいと思っている。
I find myself frowning. The priest sounds sincere. He doesn't want the Holy Grail. He just said to my face that he wants me or Tosaka to get it. Why? If you were a master, that means you wanted the Grail too. Didn't you have a wish you wanted granted?
そうだな。望みはないが目的はあった。だがそれは聖杯で叶えるべきことではない。私の目的はそれほど真剣なものではないし、私本人が叶えても意味のないものだ。
It's meaningless if he makes it happen? What does that even mean? Go find someone else to play riddles with.
老婆心のつもりなのだがな。私とお前は同じだ。明確な望みがない者同士、救いなど求めてはいない。故に少しでも早く気がつけば楽になれると思ったのだが。
I feel my heart jump in my chest. For some reason, the priest's words twist and turn in my chest like a curse. Kotamine, you... I fight against the sudden vertigo and glare at him. And then...
麻婆豆腐お待たせある。
Miss Boss sets a second plate of mapo tofu on the table, followed by a third. Kotamine dips his spoon into the plate with a clink. I knew it. This guy ordered seconds in advance. Our eyes meet. Kotamine fixes me again with his oppressive gaze and asks,
食うのか?
I do not! With a straight face, I give him my firmest denial. I leave Taishan. Kotamine didn't look like he had anything else to say and started digging into his mappa with gusto. When I left the restaurant, still feeling sour, he left me with one last remark.
エミヤ、私は戦いから降りた身だが、お前とリンは未だマスターだ。造剣は陰湿だぞ。せいぜい気をつけることだ。
A warning, I suppose, even it sounded like he hardly cared. Interlude 7-1 Heaven's Feel. A breeze enters the damp room. Two sets of footprints come from the open door. One is a hurried stomping, while the other sounds like it's being pulled along.
ほら、もう準備はできている。
There's a thud. The noise echoes through the dark, hidden room. Shinji Mato pushes the other person he roughly dragged into the room. Something is slithering and squirming on the floor. Shinji Mato knows what they are. They're the mysterious, wild creatures that his grandfather Soken Mato has been breeding. Shinji pushes someone into the room full of them.
ほら、嫌なことは早く済まそう。
He speaks from atop the stairs. The chamber is full of the creature's musk. The moment any normal person steps foot into this room, they would be overcome by terror. But this person is an exception. The things shy away from the figure who just entered. Are they afraid or just sick of his presence? The unseen monsters refuse to approach. They writhe and tremble in a perimeter around the figure.
新しい本を作ってくれよ。まだ2個残ってるはずだろ。
The presence reacts to Shinji's voice. It creaks and scratches. The darkness billows and rolls, as if eager to carry out the order.
言う通りにすればすぐ帰っていいからさ。お前だってそうしたいんだろ。
There's no answer. Only the ear-grating chittering of the bugs fill the room.
いいかい？あいつとはいずれ戦うしかないんだ。これ以上わがままを言っていると。
The figure trembles. It can't do that. The old man whom Shinji calls his teacher won't allow it. But the figure knows that Shinji doesn't always follow his teacher's directions. Right now, he's filled with hatred for Shirou Emiya. His mind has long since lost any patience for rejection. The old man is keeping him away from the conflict for his own safety. But to Shinji, it's an unacceptable humiliation. After a long silence, a change occurs in the room. Another figure appeared in a flash of light. The creature's presence is driven from the room by her appearance. Even these vermin of low intelligence know to fear her enormous monstrous aura.
そうそう。あとは全部僕に任せればいいんだ。
body is slender and supple, her hair long enough to reach the floor. Clad in a single black garment, she is the servant
今
rider.
一度聞きましょう。シンジ、私を刺激するのは自らの身を守るためだけですね。
In the depths of the chamber, gazing up from the bottom of the pen, the dark servant inquires.
ああ、何かと物騒だからさ、頼りになる護衛が欲しかったんだ。
Shinji, a master once again, fails to contain his delight. He's so ecstatic that he blurts out an answer which can only be a lie. Interlude out. So, question. Was the only reason why Sakura couldn't bring Ryder back, didn't bring Ryder back is because Heracles killed Shinji almost immediately after she died, after Ryder died in the Fate route? By the time I leave the Chinese restaurant, it's nearly 4 p.m. That's a lot of time to spend in a restaurant and not eat, dude. I don't have any shopping to do, so I could just go home. Zoken Mato. Shinji and Sakura's grandfather, huh? I have a bad feeling about this. I don't feel like going straight home yet, so I take a roundabout path. Sakura's shoes are at the entrance. Given the time, she must be back from club practice. I'm home! Oh, Sakura, you're asleep. I find Sakura asleep in the living room. She must be tired from her club activities. She slumped over the table, or rather lying nearly supine on the tatami floor. She must be exhausted. You would be, going to school and club practice right after getting sick, and helping me here on top of that. You work yourself too hard, Sakura. I cross the living room, taking care not to wake her up. Then I bring a blanket from the bedroom. Here, you'll catch another cold if you don't cover up. I gently drape it over her so as to not disturb her. And Sakura looks up dreamily at me, as if she isn't quite here. Something's different about her. It's like she isn't the Sakura I know, who laughs and helps me in the kitchen while I'm wearing an apron. There's something almost erotic about her that I've never seen. Sakura, I brought you a blanket. I make excuses, failing utterly to hide how bothered I am. Suddenly, something white coils smoothly around my neck. She's close enough to me that I can feel her breathing. Her fingers caress my neck, and her feminine body fills my vision, meeting no resistance. What? Sakura, hold on! I can't breathe properly, nor form a sentence. Sakura isn't fully awake. Her drowsy, almost intoxicated gaze is proof enough. So I should put a stop to this right now and pull away from her. I can't take my eyes off her body. I watch the way her hair flows down her neck. I'm drawn in by the yearning gasps escaping her lips, by her bosom straining against her shirt. She went and grew up before I knew it, and now she's right in front of me. It's a dizzying sight. The hands around my neck grow a little firmer. Her face draws close. My will to resist slips away, captivated by those charming lips. My rational mind skids to a halt. Everything I forbid myself from thinking or noticing, all that boring, useless common sense crumbles away. Sakura.
シロ、帰ってきたのですか？
I leap into the air. With speed and agility, unlike anything I've ever achieved before, I stick the landing on the table.
素晴らしい動きです。しかしシロ、テーブルの上に乗るのはどうかと思うのですが。
Right. I just moved on impulse. I sheepishly get down from the table. As for Sakura, the arms she had around me are splayed out on the floor, and she's fast asleep again.
シロ、顔が真っ赤ですが、何かあったのですか？視線も落ち着かないようですし、気にかかることでも。
Not in the context you're thinking of. Not really. Let's take this to the dojo. I want to let Sakura rest, so let's spar until dinner.
いい心がけです、シロ。昨日の休息で私の体調も万全ですし、今夜の戦いに備えるとしましょうか。
Saber goes off to the dojo without questioning my suspicious behavior. Anyway, I'm safe for now. Saber may not have noticed, but I'm glad that situation didn't go on any further, because I couldn't have resisted on my own. As if I'd laid a hand on Sakura while she was half asleep, the guilt would drive me to kill myself right here. Seriously.
けど先輩、稽古もいいですけど、ほどほどにしないとダメです。突き指でも大変なのに、指の骨が折れかかるなんて普通じゃないと思います。
Ow! Sakura, can't you wrap the bandage a little slower?
痛いのは当たり前です。こんな怪我してるのに放っておいたら腫れるに決まってるじゃないですか。これも天罰と思って諦めてください。
Sakura tapes my middle finger tightly. She does it skillfully. She probably sees a lot of sprained fingers in the Kyoto club. Still, she could be gentler about it.
それにセーバーさんもセーバーさんです。先輩より上手ならもう少しやりようがあるんじゃないですか。先輩、体のところどころが腫れ上がってて、これじゃお風呂にも入れません。
さくら、言葉を返しますが、それはシローが望んだことです。
Anyone get the number of that bus that I just got thrown under?
私はシローの要求に応えたに過ぎない。それに今夜の怪我はシローにも責任がある。自分から手合わせを願ったというのに、集中力が全くなかったのですから。
Saber looks at me displeased. I don't have any excuse for that.
先輩、気分でも悪かったんですか。その不確かな気持ちのまま道場に入るなんて先輩らしくないですよね。
全くです。一体何に気を取られていたのですか、シローは。竹刀を握っても見ているのは空ばかりで、気迫が全く感じられなかった。
Sakura's on my mind, but I obviously can't say that. The memory alone is enough to speed up my heart.
先輩、まだ痛いところがあるんですか。
Worried, Sakura leans in slightly. No, I'm fine now. I just have indigestion because I ate too much, so if you'd make me some tea, that would really help. I splutter and back away from Sakura.
そうですね。それじゃあ食後のお茶入れてきます。
Sakura stands up to go to the kitchen counter. That almost gave me a heart attack. The sight of her sleeping in the living room is still burned into my memory, so having her come so close makes me really self-conscious.
セイバーさん、お茶でいいですか。
はい、ぬるめでお願いします。
Sakura briskly makes us tea. I should be used to seeing her from behind, but for some reason it feels so fresh. Not that kind of fresh. Ugh. Darn it, where's my mind going? Saber's right. I've been acting off for a while. Just seeing Sakura is enough to remind me of her sleeping form earlier in those soft lips. Dang, I'm pathetic. She's precious family to me and someone who looks up to me. Why am I seeing her this way now? Crud. I know why. Sakura's pretty. I've noticed that for a long time. But even knowing that, I've tried to interact with her and her alone as her senpai. I like Sakura. Before I knew it, I started taking her presence for granted. It gave me comfort. Not in a romantic sense, mind you. I've never wanted to be physically intimate with her. I know she's a girl, but I wasn't conscious of her as a member of the opposite sex. Except, it isn't because I don't think she is. But rather, I was just trying not to see her that way.
先輩どうぞお茶入りました
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Sakura.
どういたしまして先輩も夕食ご苦労様でした
Sakura smiles happily. Just that is enough to cheer me up. It seems like she really enjoyed the pork meatballs with grilled vegetables that I made for dinner. Sakura sets down Saber's cup of tea, then returns to her seat at the table. Saber accepts the green tea, looking content to have tea after dinner.
いただきます。しかしタイガはどうしたのでしょうね。ここのところ彼女の姿はあまり見ませんが。
Huh? Oh, Fujine called earlier and said she won't be coming tonight. I didn't ask for details, but she said she was visiting the hospital.
そうですか。タイガはシローのくせに詳しいですから、もう少し話が聞きたかったのですが。仕方ありません。シローの強化は次の機会にするとしましょう。
Are you saying I'm still a beginner after training for the last couple days?
当然です。今までの鍛錬は単に今のシローができることを体で知ってもらっただけですから。シローの特性を生かした生存方法を考慮するのはこれからです。
Oh, that sounds like it's gonna be tough.
厳しいというのであれば厳しいですが、そもそも今までの鍛錬は準備運動に過ぎません。
Crud. Really? I don't know whether or not to be grateful to Fujine for her not coming over tonight.
何ですか今のため息は。シロ、これはあなたのためになることであって。さくら。
Saber looks at Sakura. Huh? I follow her gaze. Oh no. Sakura's breathing is labored. Sakura! I rush over and grab her by the shoulders.
先輩何でしょうか
You stupid! You're pushing yourself without telling us again! Actually, she isn't. Sakura's shoulders aren't warm, and she doesn't look tired. She just stares up at me, confused. You just look like you were tired. You just look like you were feeling sick again.
あいえ違いますよ私ちょっと寝ちゃってただけです
She chuckles sheepishly. Don't scare me like that. I thought your cold came back.
すみません今日は一日中眠くて気を抜くとまぶたが落ちちゃうんです
Yeah, I did see you napping earlier this evening. If you're tired, just go lie down. I'll clean up the rest.
はいそうですねそれじゃあお言葉に甘えて先に失礼させてもらいます
Sakura gives me a slight bow of thanks and leaves the living room. She looks steadily on her feet, so maybe she really just didn't get enough sleep last night. The moon wanes. A strong wind A strong wind brings clouds that cover its pale brilliance. I step outside quietly to let Sakura rest. It's 10 p.m. We're starting our patrol early to make up for yesterday. After we beat Castor, I got complacent, and that led to more innocent casualties. If she's still alive and going after more civilians, then I need to settle this for good to... If she's still alive and going after more civilians, then I need to settle this for good tonight. We go down the hill and arrive at the intersection. The question is where to go from here.
シロ、サーバントの気配です。
Are they close, Saber?
距離的には問題ありません。シロの足を考慮しても全力で追跡すれば5分ほどで追いつけます。マスター、指示を。
Saber's asking me whether we should pursue or observe the enemy. I don't even need to think about it. Let's go. Lead the way, Saber. Saber starts running. It looks like she's headed east, toward the big bridge connecting Miyama and Shinto. The instant I step foot into the park, I'm assailed by a nauseating aura. The air feels tainted. A rotting odor reaches my nostrils. Ugh! Just being here is enough to turn my stomach. Like dizziness and a discomfort in my throat tears at my consciousness.
シロ、あれを。
I fight down the nausea and look across the park. There I see
ヘミヤ君
Tosaka and Archer. Their backs to us and
どうやら新手が来たようじゃな。
that old man, Zoken Mato. One look is enough to understand the situation. Tosaka and Zoken are fighting. Dozens of small, indistinct things are scattered at Tosaka's feet. Several times their numbers surround Archer. Zoken must be using some kind of mage craft to attack them.
おう、誰かと思えばセーバーのマスターか。いやはや、これはしたり。助っ人を用意しておくとは当社の娘にしては頭が回る。
そんなわけないでしょ。あんたを押さえつけて白状させるのなんて私とアーチャーだけで十分よ。
I don't think you're gonna like the look of those guts when you start spilling.
あそこにいるのはただの観客。私とは関係ないんだから。
Tosaka stays focused on Zoken, not paying us a second thought. Or so I expected.
あんた何やってんのよ。こんな時にやってくるなんて死にたいの。
She hisses a fresh round of complaints at me.
シロ、
I know. This isn't the time to fight Tosaka and Archer. I feel danger from the old man, just as Tosaka won't take her eyes off him. He's a monster that lives off human blood. A descendant of the Makiris trying to acquire the Holy Grail, and the person who made Shinji into a master. I can't just stand aside and let this fight play out.
隠しておきたかったが仕方あるまい。わしとてサーバントを2体敵に回しては生き残れんからの。
The cane in his hand rings out. With a thud, he plants his arcane-looking cane into the brick ground. And instantly, something that should be dead appears to defend the old man. Castor! Dang it, she really is still alive!
シロ、下がって。あれはキャスターですが、キャスターではありません。外装能力はそのままですが、意志である魂を感じない。あれはキャスターの死骸を別のもので補っただけの模造品です。
Saber steps forward. Invisible sword at the ready.
おう、さすがはセーバー。一目でわしのからくりを見抜きおったが、いやはやこれでは信じ程度のライダーがかなわんのも道理。キャスターもなすすべなくお主に敗れたように、そこのアーチャーとてお主の敵ではあるまい。
向上はそれだけか。我らを測った罪だけではない。敵同士とはいえキャスターとてサーバントに選ばれた英霊だ。その亡骸をもてあそぶからには相応の覚悟があるのだろうな。
さて、わしは使われなくなったものを拾っただけよ。それを下道というのなら構わんがな、セイバー。それではお主の行く末はその下道にも劣ってしまうぞ。
Oh boy.
何しろその身は最高のサーバントならば、このようなムクロよりお主を屈服させるが最上じゃ。その体を我が虫どもに食わせ、そこなムクロと同じ命運をたどらせよ。
貴様。
何を憤る。所詮サーバントなど主の道具、どのように刺激するかなど問題ではあるまい。霊樹で縛られるも死してなお使われるも同じならば、心ない人形と化すがうぬらのためであろ
う。Even Archer's attacked. Both servants charge. As if an unspoken agreement, Saber and Archer race forward to cut down the cackling fiend. Two-bladed gusts descend upon Castor. The result was obvious from the start. Castor can't beat Saber. Even if Zokin pulls her strings, her disadvantage is still clear. Unscathed by Castor's mage grab, Saber finishes off her opponent for the second time. The dead servant's husk collapses. Saber stands over Castor's remains, observing her final moments. She makes absolutely sure that Castor is gone, back from whence she came, so that her corpse will never be misused by a mortal mage.
Acha!
That's Tosaka's voice. I turn to see that Zokin has disappeared. He must have sacrificed Castor as a distraction to aid his escape. But... Saber saw it coming and was ready for Castor. Archer was never after Castor to begin with. He was focused on her puppeteer instead.
そこまでだ。
Without hesitation, he cleaves through Zokin's body.
No.
Zokin's upper body crumples to the ground.
Nanto.
I hear a slithering sound. The old man, missing his body from the waist down, slithers along the ground, leaking some gruesome substance.
終わりだ、魔術師。過去からの経験でな、お前のような妖物は早めに処理することにしている。
Archer's short sword cuts upward in a second arc. That'll finish Zokin. No matter how immortal he is, he'll die if he crushes his head. He was already on the verge of death anyway. Without natural healing abilities like those of a servant, severe wounds hasten his death by the second. Archer goes in for a killing blow to make absolutely certain the mage is dead. Huh? No. He tries to, but he freezes in his tracks. Archer isn't the only one who senses it. Everybody here does. Tosaka and Saber, Archer and I. Even the dying Zokin trembles in astonishment at its sudden appearance. The park becomes inky black. The damp air freezes over instantly. Even my pounding heart begins to slow. Something bad is nearby. I have to run. I can't be around it. My body understands this even better than my brain, but it rejects my commands to flee. It knows that running is futile. It rules out escape as an option because there's no getting away once you run into that thing. I tremble. My paralyzed neck begins to move. My eyes track to the park entrance. There. Stands a shadow. Space twists. I'd like to believe that I'm just hallucinating, that I'm losing my grip on reality due to extreme stress. Whatever that is, I've never seen anything like it. The shadow stands there, upright and ethereal. It seems light enough to be blown away by a breeze, but its gravity is more commanding than anything else here. It has no intellect, no reason. It isn't even a living creature. The black shadow stays where it is, piercing the night like a skyscraper. And for some reason, I find the sight nostalgic.
ありえん。
I hear a hoarse, wizened voice. The only person who manages to talk is the dying old man.
ありえん。ありえん。ありえんわ。
He crawls away, wailing. Zokenmato flees from Archer's sword and leaves the park as fast as he can. It isn't because he had stamina to spare. It's simple. His wholehearted fear of the sinister shadow was enough to whip his wasted carcass into action. Nobody can move. Tosaka and I tremble. Saber and Archer are frozen still, as if mesmerized by something. It's a monster of the deep sea. In the completely stopped, silent world, only the shadow sways. And for the first time, it shows signs of having a will. It has no eyes, no limbs, no body. And yet, a shadow stretches out from its feet. It casts a long, long shade under the moonlight. Slowly, it turns to point at Tosaka, like a snake that just discovered prey. Tosaka can't move. She hasn't noticed the change in the shadow. Saber's too far. Archer starts running. The shadow stretches. Suddenly and without warning, it covers dozens of meters. Sokka, look out! I frantically shove her aside. I can't hear her voice. The instant I push Tosaka, something incomprehensible swallows me. I hear a splash and feel something crushing my body. So my hunch wasn't wrong. A torrent of liquid, like having a dump truck emptied on me, submerges me from head to toe. I'm in the deep ocean now. That's hot. This is way too hot for seawater. It's boiling coal tar. It sticks to my skin, shutting me off from my basic life functions. Rather than being underwater, it's like... I feel nauseous, repulsed. I feel nauseous, repulsed, nauseous, repulsed, nauseous.
Emiya-kun?
At the voice, I open my eyes. My body feels hot. The nausea won't go away. My head feels woozy and I can't even stand up on my own.
目が覚めた？大丈夫？私がわかる？
I feel someone slapping my cheeks. Yeah, only you would slap me at a time like this, Tosaka.
よかった。減らず口を言えるなら大丈夫ね。
I wasn't trying to be flippant. It's just how I feel.
バカ、何笑ってるのよ。言っとくけど、礼は言わないわよ。あんな真似は二度としないで。助けてもらった相手に死なれたら、借りを返すこともできなくなる。
She shoots me a glare. Even so, Tosaka has one hand supporting my back, while the other is holding my head as if to check my temperature. Tosaka? Did something weird happen?
消えたわ。エミヤくんが影の上に立って倒れたと思ったらもういなかった。あれ自身はあっちの方からやってきたみたいだけど。
Tosaka looks to the southern sky. No, the southwest. and grinds her teeth. Oh, but I feel like I was wrapped up in there forever.
本当？あなたが私を突き飛ばしてから今まで10秒も経ってないわよ。その証拠にほら。シロ、
Saber comes running.
またあなたは無茶な真似をして。
Saber supports me on her shoulder and takes me from Tosaka.
離れなさい、アーチャーのマスター。それ以上我がマスターに近寄るのなら敵対行為とみなします。何？もしかして私も敵？当然でしょう。あなたはマスターでありアーチャーを連れている。何のつもりでシローがあなたをかばったかは知りませんが、みすみす我が主に近づかせることはできない。
Saber glares at Tosaka. Oh no, come to think of it, I never updated Saber on the situation. It's not like that, Saber. Tosaka and I have a truce right now, until we defeat Castor, that is.
シロー、しっかり気をつけて。
I said she isn't our enemy. We have a deal.
わかりました。あなたがそう言うのなら彼女とは争いません。
Although
ですから
technically Castor has been defeated, so... Yeah, sorry. To be honest, I can't talk. I desperately cling to consciousness as my mind strains under the chills and nausea. I can pass out once I get home. Until then, I need to keep my mind together at least.
助かったか。ま、本体に触れたわけでもなし、実体のあるものなら怒りを移された程度だろう。
Archer comes over. His expression is neutral, even though he let Zoken escape. He's the calmest one here.
アーチャー、あなたは今の影が何者か知っているのですか？
さてな。だがこれで一つはっきりした。キャスターなき後、町の人間から魔力を吸い上げているのは今の影だろうよ。
Archer sounds indifferent. Then he directs his attention to me on the ground.
どうやら支援を優先できる状況ではなくなったようだ。そうだろう、エミヤシロ。
Wait, has Archer said he had a personal grievance with Shirou in this ride?
あれが何であるかはお前の直感が正しい。サーバントとして召喚されたというのに、結局はあれの相手をさせられるというわけだ。
アーチャー、あなたは一体。
Yeah, in early versions of the game, you were that.
そうか、君はまだ守護者ではなかったな。ではあの手の類と対峙したことはなかろう。まったくいずこにいようとやることに変わりがないとはな。
The Red Knight leaves, beckoning Tosaka to go with him. But before he does,
いや、そう悲観したものではないか。まだことは起きていない。後始末にとどまるか、その前に型をつけるのか。今回は摘み取れる可能性がまだ残されているのだから。
he murmurs, gazing up at the stars. The flickering repeats. Fever permeates my body, and I can't feel myself walking. Someone said something about catching a fever. It feels like mosquitoes carrying fever are spreading through my body and swarming around my fingertips.
先輩。
In my daze, I can't distinguish dreams from reality. It's like I'm already asleep and trying my darndest to escape from the dream back to my bedroom.
さくら、睡眠中ではなかったのですか？
どいてください。そんな支え方じゃ先輩が辛くなる。
いえ、これは私が任されたことです。それに
何らかの病だとしたらあなたにまで移ってしまう。
そんなことを言ってるんじゃありません。セイバーさん、あなたと先輩が何をしているのかは知りません。聞いても答えてもらえないことだって分かっていますから、問いただすこともしませんでした。けど、あなたが来てから先輩は毎日辛そうでした。それだけならよかったのに、今夜は怪我をして帰ってきたんです。
さくら、それは。
セイバーさんの事情は知りません。けど、もう少しうまいやり方があるんじゃないですか。それができないって言うなら、せめて先輩を巻き込むのはやめてください。
I'm brought back to my room. Someone's next to me, putting me to bed, I think. I think they whispered into my ear, but I couldn't make it out. Did they say they were reckless? Did they apologize to me? Anyway, that's the last thing I heard. My consciousness starts to fade as soon as I lie down. Everything I see squirms like worms until I pass out. Interlude 7-2 Heaven's Feel. Thought that would have been the end of it, but looks like we got a little more.
まったねー。明日こそ遅刻しないでよ。
She sees her friends off, an odd timber in her farewell. No one else is around, and the traffic circle is completely still. Did her friend take the last taxi home, or are they all occupied? In any case, the park in front of the train station, usually well lit and filled with loiterers, is cold and lifeless.
ま、こんな日もあるか。
Is this Fujine? She walks home, tipsy. She doesn't mind that the last train already left, nor that there aren't any taxis nearby. Her apartment is just around the corner. She's used to going home alone after seeing off her friend who lives in the town 3 train stops away. She walks through the middle of the roundabout, abandoned even though it isn't midnight yet, and takes the path home in high spirits. High spirits being that she's liquored up. And yet, when did it all stop being just another night? An empty city, a back alley the light doesn't reach, the cold creeping out from the shadows. Some formless anxiety grates away her composure.
ちょっと、誰かいるの？
She turns around. Her follower is a silent, unfriendly shadow. She quickens her walk. She begins to think it's dangerous to be here. She doesn't think she's overreacting. She doesn't feel anyone following her. To begin with, her instincts are good enough to sense danger even if someone was stalking her. She's just a normal, decent city dweller.
ちょっと、何よ、これ。
And yet, she suddenly begins to tremble. The unpleasant feeling intensifies. This is just like that one time when she was a child, when she woke up in the middle of the night and couldn't move. It feels like the anxiety of having the entire world reject her, like that night when she thought someone was lurking in the corner of her bedroom. She couldn't even get up to go to the bathroom and pretended to sleep until morning. Before she knows it, she's jogging. This isn't her usual route home. The path before her is dangerous. Either path is pitch black. Relying on the same intuition that told her she was in danger, she finds herself nearly stumbling as she runs towards safety. When did the jog become a headlong sprint? She knows that it's comical to be so afraid of something she can't even see, but she can't stop. She scrambles down the street like a mad dog. It's strange how her throat is parched, and she isn't sweating at all. The city at night. A string of unexplained accidents. She tells herself that the rumors never mention anything about a slasher. There's no one else around. Tonight of all nights, the streets are empty. Does no one really care? It feels like she's in an imitation of the city she knows so well, in a place where no one will ever find her. At last, she comes to the end of the line.
おかしいな。どうして？
Why did she come here?
何してんだろう、私。
It's so hilarious. She barely laughs because it's funny. Her throat feels like it belongs to someone else. All she did was run. She thought that there would be no going back if she took the normal way home. So she chose a different route that would take her to a safe place. And now... Finally, she realizes that there was never any escape to begin with. Whoa! Just as something can jump at you out of the grass, other things can pounce on you from the tree branches. At first, it drops on her head. Nobody hears her scream. Her body hits the pavement. There's sharp pain in her ankles. It hurts so bad it must be a joke. Like she lost everything from the heel down. That can't possibly be true. So she wriggles her fingers, only to find that she can't feel anything. Instead, something is burrowing into the part of her that's missing. With bloody but still functioning eyes, she looks to see what it is. Oh! But she can't see it anymore. All she knows is that something she doesn't understand is gathering in her body. For some reason, her eyes can't process what they see. The worms wriggle their way inside. When she was a child, she once saw a bathtub sponge infested by maggots. This looks just like that. A closer image would be inchworms forming in an apple's hole. The realistic images don't line up with the events unfolding before her eyes. After all, this can't be happening. Not to her. It'll be midnight soon. I need to go home, fill up the bath. Ouch. Laugh about all the stuff that happened today. It hurts. And while I dry my hair, it hurts. I'll catch up on all the shows I'm recording. Go back to my room. Set my alarm. I want to go home. Wake up in the morning. Go home. Out to work and eat. Need to go home. Go home.
会社に部屋にもどっか行け。違うって言ってるでしょ。やめてよ。お願いします。私を部屋に返してください。お願い。いや、あんたたちもうやだ。何勝手に私の。
The tragedy ends in less than 5 minutes. It was a gruesome scene that might be described as a meal, if one were to define meal as the simple acquisition of nutrition. The fallen thing rises. What was once a woman can only now be described as a wizened old man.
こればかりはいつになってもなれんものだな。
A hoarse voice rasps. The swarm of insects is gone. Having finished their meal, they return to their nest inside the aged body. In other words, they hollowed out the inside of the woman and turned it into their own. Something witnessed it happen. Up above, a mismatched white face floats in the gaps between the tree branches. It is a mask made of a human skull, locked in a jester's smile. Its owner is, of course, the seventh servant who killed Lancer. Assassin, a masterless heroic spirit born from a false servant.
器用なものだ。先ほどの体も元より借り物だったということか。
ほう、見ておったのか、朝日。そうよ。わしの肉体はとうの昔に滅び去っておる。
こうしてすでに出来上がっている体に寄生するだけの老いぼれでな。他の者どものように日の元に出られる体ではない。
The cackling comes from none other than Zoken Mato. It took him only minutes to attack and take over the woman. No matter how impressive a mage he is, the speed of the act was abnormal.
そうか。元の体などどうでもよい。単に一人分の肉が必要なだけなのだな。どのみち中身は虫どもなのだ。人間としての機能は虫どもが果たす。
ほほう、わずか一日で饒舌になったではないか、アサシン。その様では己が望みを思い出したか。
無論我は同じ望みを持つ召喚者にのみ呼び出される。魔術師殿の不死への渇望がこの身を招いたのだ。だが
The black shadow sways. The expressionless skull mask eyes the old mage dubiously.
いささか疑問が生じた。魔術師殿はすでに不死。その年月も500を超えよう。ならば
The old mage's shoulders tremble as he raises his voice. Who can tell whether his laugh is one of joy or rage? Indeed, Soken Mato is nearly immortal. With a body like that of a nest, he will continue to live as long as his soul's vessel remains intact. But it's a life of agony. Zoken does not maintain this old man's form out of preference. He has transformed into something inhuman, masquerading as a man. There are limits to his magecraft. It is not unlike a machine. Even if perpetual operation is possible in theory, his parts still suffer from wear and tear. His parts still suffer from wear. Parts rust. Cogs fail to align. Programming cognition fails to keep up with the evolving times.
いやいや、わしは不死ではないぞ、アサシン。わしの体は腐る。何度新しい肉体を得ようと腐る。何をしようと腐っていくのだ。この新しい肉体とてすでに腐敗が始まっている。生きたまま自身が腐っていくこの不快と屈辱。自らが人ではなく虫なのだと受け入れる絶望といえば分かってもらえるかな。
なぜ腐る？虫どもでは真っ当な肉体を作れないのか。
そのようなことはないぞ。虫どもは生きがいいからな。肉体面では何の問題もない。元より老いる体を憂いて寄生体となった身だ。わしは永遠に生き続ける方法、人間としてとどまれる方式としてこの延命法を選んだつもりじゃ。
ますますわからぬな。完全な肉体維持を選んでおいてその始末なのか。そもそもなぜ外見を老人に模す。肉を粘土のようにこねるのならいかようにも姿は変えられよ
う。良い質問じゃ。ではトーンが元の肉体を完全に失った者が自らの力だけでかつての自分を復元するとしよう。その場合肉体を元の形に戻すものは何だと思う？
肉体は己の肉体を記録している。肌がそげ、肉が落ちようとかつての姿に戻るのは肉体そのものに設計図があるからだ。
Suddenly, I'm reminded of the extremist plotline from the Iron Man comics.
遺伝子に記録された構成図じゃな。だがわしの場合は違う。自身の構成を記録していた肉体そのものを失ったのだ。その場合、自己を覚え元通りの形にするものは何だと思うね。
The answer is obvious. His soul. The soul is a memory of the world itself, a record of a body bound not by the physical realm's laws like the flesh, but existing on a higher plane, belonging to a concept known as the astral realm. And the bodies he keeps making are just as ugly and decrepit as his soul. Yes, as long as the soul is intact, it can be possible to restore one's past self even after the loss of one's body, one's genes, even one's very cells. Meaning that this old
なるほ
mage...
ど。自身の魂だけを生かし、肉体は生きている者たちから摂取する。それが魔術師殿の不死の正体か。故に他の姿にはなれない。魔術師殿が存命させているものは肉体ではなく魂。
And he can't just put it in puppet bodies like somebody else.
故に魂以外の姿は形作れないと。
当然であろう。わしとて好き好んで老人の体を得ているわけではないわ。よいか、わしはこの姿しか作れんのだ。それも定期的に変えねば腐り落ちる不出来なものよ。かつては一度の取り替えで54年活動したわしが、今では数ヶ月に一度取り替えねば存命できぬ。その歪小さ、腐敗する苦しみが誰に理解できようか。間違えるな今代のアサシンよ。そのようなものを二度と不死と称するでない。
Frustration tinges the old man's voice. It's been 3 days since Assassin was summoned. The killer finally knows who his summoner
納
is.
得がいった。つまり腐っているのは肉体ではなく、
そう、魂が腐っておる。
A problem that I believe also was came up in Fate Apocrypha.
時間の蓄積は幽体にさえ影響を及ぼすのだ。故にわしの体は腐る。構成図である魂が腐っていては肉体が腐り落ちるのも当然である。
故に聖杯を求めるか。憤るわけよな。その永遠、生地永久を知らぬ者より辛かろう。
そうだとも。わしの体は腐るのだ。その苦しみ、骨の髄まで侵す毒から解放されねばならん。
I mean, if it hurts that badly, you could just die.
そのための聖杯、そのための死なない体よ。そうだ。わしは死にたくない。まだ生きていたい。この世から消えてなくなるなど考えるだに恐ろしい。それから逃れるために何百年と生き、腐敗から逃れるために何千という肉を食らい続けた。わかるか、山の主よ。わしはこの虫と化した自身が恨めし、わしだけが腐ることが恨めし、人として当然のように正しい肉体を授かる虫どもが恨めしいのだ。
Well, it's not their fault you made poor life choices. The white mask gazed down at the oozing, festering old man. He has made very clear how much he despises humans living peaceful lives. He has recounted how this very effort to escape that peace has caused him great suffering. The mage is the cause of his own pain, of his perpetual state of decomposition melting his skin, festering his meat and sundering his bones as long as he lives. However, his suffering has become a problem too great to be resolved by merely assigning blame. Morality and causality are no longer relevant. At any rate, one can speculate that Zokenmato has long lost sight of his goal. An ordinary man who could not withstand the pain and terror of Zoken's bodily decay for even an hour. No, it would not be possible no matter how stout one's spirit. One would die first. After a mere hour of decay, the body would die. Now, imagine 200 years of this ordeal. Only the old mage could possibly know how much a human mind would deteriorate after so many years of endless decay. Zokenmato abandoned his humanity long ago. Even if he were still sane, one could conclude that he had lost his way from the moment from the moment his mentality became incomprehensible to any human on Earth.
数百年の妄念か。私には理解できぬが。
The old mage's ramblings can be summed up in a single sentence. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. This man simply does not wish to die. That alone describes how clear an idea Zoken has of an otherwise vague conviction that any other man might have. In clinging to that simple, foolish wish, he has sacrificed a great many people. In sowing seeds to help him acquire the Holy Grail, he has created even more victims. No. The old mage's very existence is founded on the sacrifice of others. And to the masked assassin, that is a motivation worthy of his service.
理解できぬが、魔術師殿はこの私のマスターにふさわしい。よかろう。人として扱われなかった者同士、共に永遠を目指すとしよう。
The skull will serve. His bleached white head trips in respect to the rotting old mage, or dips in respect. Interlude out. Yes, we are saving the game. Alright, and that's gonna be it for tonight. So I hope you're enjoying this, and have a good night.